Hello traders, it's Yanis here from Nikos Trading Academy and welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. Okay, we have chosen some pairs. We know market is really slow, it's high season, summertime, so most of them will be focused on higher settings. Or, of course, if you want to, you can combine these kind of setups with scalping entries. So we will start with gold, and we can see already that gold is on the move. And we know, we've said it so many times, when gold wakes up, it really goes. So what you see here is already price has retraced after a false breakout. We already have the crossover, we have the retracement, and price has already created a much more higher high than our previous one. So, of course, what we would like is to get another retracement to go long according to our weekly setup. Weekly rules, we would like to go long, and this is 2000 pips of a movement. Now, if someone is thinking going for a retracement because of this area here, you will be going against the main trend, and that means focusing on lower settings. Daily also could give us some pips for a retracement, 250 pips, again going in lower settings, and you can see that if you are to go short, this trend line has to break, and to go short, of course, you will need to know how far short, and since this is a retracement, this is your target, this is your win-win scenario when and if your H4 trend line breaks, to go for 200 pips, and then of course focus again back long, because that would be a weekly retracement. On New Zealand dollar CAD, with our previous approach, we saw major support and resistance levels. We had the retracement. Price still wants to go short, but that doesn't mean anything unless my support area breaks. So on my daily chart, I can see that this was a false breakout. Price still wants to go short, and what we would like, of course, is our resistance area to break, our support area to break to target 280 pips. What about New Zealand dollar yen? Here we have already what we would like to see on New Zealand dollar CAD. We have our support area broken, we have our retracement, price is still looking good, it's still looking short, and from our monthly chart we found our next possible support area. This is a major resistance area that could act as support, and of course long-term target could go for this area or even for this area. It doesn't matter if it's 1000, 2000 or 3000 pips, 200, 2500 in this case. What we need to know is, as long as the price is following our direction, we need to stay in as long as possible. So you see my 2 to 3 line on the weekly chart has broken. My candle hasn't broken, hasn't closed yet. And if you want to go in lower settings entry, you have a daily trend line break, and that means a 4-hour retracement. When you see that, you can go short, a little bit aggressive of course, because you don't have higher settings retracement, but you can always lower your risk. Now, what about Euro Aussie? Euro Aussie is kind of a rangy, but what I see here is also an uptrend with a big weekly 1 to 3, which is really powerful. My 2 to 3 line has broken. Again, my candle hasn't closed yet, so I don't have that confirmation. Daily, you can see that my 2 to 3 line 36 EMA is breaking, following higher time frame 1 to 3, I can focus on a retracement, and when price breaks that 2 to 3 line, I can go for 250 pips as a confirmation. Trend line break, I have the crossover and the big 1 to 3. So focus on this 1 to 3 to go long. On EUR/GBP, price is already on the run and too close to my resistance area. That means, as I see my weekly chart, what I need to do is focus on a bounce short. Here on my daily, you can see the retracement. Late, of course, price is volatile, and if you want to go long, of course, as a late entry, first of all, wait for a 4-hour retracement to combine that with lower settings, even with 15 minutes entry. But the best scenario would be to wait for the price to get to this point to trade it short as a bounce. You can even, if price retrace, goes up again, gives you another 1 to 3, you could always wait for this trend line to break as an excuse, as close as possible to the resistance area to go short. Now on GBP USD, we already know where the price is going. We know it's powerful. Most of the GBP pairs are going short, and of course we have no option to follow that trend. On the daily chart, we already had a really nice retracement close to our resistance area. We have volatility, we have movement. The only thing missing would be a lower settings retracement. If you don't get higher time frame retracements, you can always go to lower time frame. So when you get a 4-hour entry, of course it won't be the first one, it will be a late entry, but with lower risk you could go for 240 pips. On USD Yen, you can see on the daily chart that what we have actually is a big range. My resistance, my support. In between, I had something that it looks like it's broken. So I'm waiting for that retracement, and also I need to see if price will retrace some more. If someone wants to go with an early entry using this as a bounce excuse, this would be the target because I have the crossover to go short. That means on the daily, since you have a daily trendline break, you don't have the crossover, what you are looking for is a 4-hour entry, ideally above this area. So that means you have the 1 to 3 on the 4-hour. It's not the first one. You can see here I have the crossover and the first 1 to 3. And you can combine that even with a 1 hour. I have a 4-hour 1 to 3 and sequential 1 to 3s with a 1 hour 1 to 3. And this is it. So here we have like 90 pips room to go. Long, of course, against the main trend, like I said, having in mind that this is the area you will target for your win-win scenario to go short. CAD Yen is also short. I have my range, I have my well-respected support and resistance. I have also here my trend line, which is holding. I would like, of course, to go short, but I need to focus on this area and see that this is a very powerful support. Yes, it has broken before, but this was like 3 years ago. So I'm focusing on my price action. Yes, again, my 2 to 3 line is here. It's not a clear breakout, and that means on this area, what do you have? You have already a daily trendline break, a crossover of the MAs, and a 1 to 3, which is a powerful combination, but you are too close to your major trend line. So if you are thinking of going long, you need a setup above this area. or short, wait for this trend line to break to go and wait for a 4-hour setup to go short, trying to cover this 110 pips of a distance, of course, with lower settings entry in both cases, because here you would be close to the support. Let's go to Aussie Kiwi. Again, a nice, powerful downtrend. Major support area so far is holding, and the first thing that comes to mind is a bounce opportunity. On the other hand, we don't know if the price will retrace or not. What we know is that we have a trend line, it's looking good, so it would be perfect if we can get a daily retracement and an opportunity to go short. Now in lower time frames this would be like a rangy. You see that? So even on my 4-hour I have another wedge. It doesn't matter now, it's not like I'm waiting for a breakout, but on the daily I would like a retracement. Price, if price retraces and meets your combined resistance of your trend line and the 36 EMA, it's a very powerful thing. So go for this retracement. If you don't get it and price starts moving lower, that means you will be forced to go for lower time frames entries, or just wait for the price to get to this point so you can bounce trade it. On my USD CAD, we have a very powerful trend line break. We have the crossover and the 1 2 3 in progress. The downside is that my point 2 is on my support area, so we don't know if this is just a retracement to go short or a bounce. Now as a bounce, it's already late to go long. On the other hand, on my weekly chart, I need to focus on this. This is the retracement that is going to happen if this is a 1 2 3 to go short, and that means on this area I need to wait. This is my 36 EMA, and here I have a daily 1 2 3. If this breaks, I won't have enough room to go. This is going to be like 57 pips, and I don't think it's worth it. So focus on the daily, on your 2 to 3 line break to go short, and then you will have another confirmation, conservative approach like a 1 2 3, like a rooftop for the bounce opportunity. But right now it doesn't look that clear. On Euro USD that we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, it looks like price finally wants to continue. We have already identified a very powerful, a big range, and this is my target. This is my long-term target. If someone has also on this area, due to these spikes and these highs, a support, I'm okay with that. This is the target, but don't put too many lines. Look at the big picture, where the price faced the most resistance and support. So again, I go back to my daily, I adjust my line, and I see that I'm missing a daily 1 2 3. Daily retracements are very powerful. Are we going to get one? I don't know, but I would like one. On the other hand, on the 4-hour, price doesn't look that good. I don't have nice smooth movements. I don't have nice retracements. So let's wait for a daily retracement and see what happens. Of course, like I said, short. This is like 260 pips. Now, if we go in Aussie Yen, we will see that price is short, but also on a major support area. And Now either price retraces and breaks my trend line, or continues and I go short from my major support area coming from my monthly. On the other hand, I know that this is a very powerful support area, and this range is 1,400 pips. So for now, what we can do is focus on a bounce entry. Yeah, so here you can place some pending orders, or of course, on the other hand, if you see that price continues, no problem. All we need is a lower low, and we already know how far short we can go. And this is 1,500 pips, like I said before. Keep a close eye on Aussie Yen to see where, in which direction you will have a clear breakout. And last one, Gbp Chf. We've been waiting for that for a long time. Here we said we could go for a bounce on this area, but price has created some spikes. So I have already price breaking this. This is a GBP pair. We know GBP pairs are going short, and in case I get a setup below here, I can go short. All we need is a confirmation, and I have my daily retracement. And for an extra confirmation, because we don't want this to be a false breakout, we would like a 1, 2, 3 with our 2 to 3 line lower than the previous lows. And if that happens, again, we already know how far we can go. This is 250 pips. You can go with a 4 hour 15 minutes, 4 hour 5 minutes, 4 hour 1 hour combination. It's up to you according to your trading plan. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much, and see you on our live room tomorrow. Bye bye everybody. Thank you again.